pitches. We shall fight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is the Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. I want to do this piece, and it's kind of out of sequence, but I still think it's kind of relevant, really, because of what's going on in Britain right now. And they're talking about all things not working, and this is the media again, trying to push their views on what they think should be going on. And I want you to listen to this, please. The article comes from thisismoney.co.uk. And I will put a link on my website. And now I've got up to date, so you should be able to follow the links fairly soon after. Jeremy Corbyn is the front runner in the Labour leadership battle, and much of the lead he has gained is thanks to a plan for overhauling the economy and generating growth that has been dubbed Corbynomics. It is a matter of debate whether his ideas are new or whether he's recycling old ones that just haven't received this kind of thorough airing for decades. That's the key. So what is Corbynomics? How radical is it really? And does it stack up as a practical plan for creating economic growth? Corbyn says, we all want the deficit closed on the current budget deficit, but there was no need to try to do it within an artificial 5 years, or even after an extra 5 years. If the deficit has been closed by 2020, the economy is growing. Then, Labour should not run current budget deficit. We should borrow to invest in our future prosperity. Does that ring any bells? Spending priorities, Corbyn says, Chancellor George Osborne managed to find a total of $5 billion for another corporation tax cut and inheritance tax break for the rich in the July budget. Would it work? Economists are a fractious lot, but Corbyn's opposition to the austerity has attracted support from more than 40 of them. And in an open letter to this newspaper, it is worth noting, however, that many of these economists were already vocal critics of austerity. They say Corbyn's stance is mainstream economics, and it is the government's plan to balance the budget primarily through spending cuts, which is extreme. Corbyn-led government would most probably fund public investment programme, are you listening? Through borrowing. Borrowing, especially if interest rates were still at their current lows. Well, there you have it, and here's my thoughts. If Britain wants to see an example of socialism causing the collapse of a stable economy in less than 5 years nationally, and slightly longer in the case of the country's largest state/province, then they need to look no further than Canada. Canada, who weathered itself through the financial crisis, Canada, who became energy independent, Canada, who ran a surplus, all heading the other way. In short, massive out-of-control spending, enormous commitments to refugees that are unsustainable, cutting a national defence, selling off national assets, the single-mindedness of what on the surface, which seems well-intentioned, of their unsustained views on so-called climate change, which really is nothing more than Canada giving away its sovereignty. No, this is the UK's future if they go down the road of socialism. Canadians think the US will be there to protect them. Well, I've got news for them. No, they won't. Why should they? Canada can't even defend itself. With a Prime Minister who spends more time at gay pride parades than anything else, that should tell you where socialist values really lie. Don't make the same mistake Canada did and give up capitalism, because it works. You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, Gab, and email. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments on Spreaker.com under A Radio, that's EHRADIO, A Radio, and please click on the like button. At this time I have another exciting announcement to make. You can now find us on iHeartRadio under A Radio, and you can find all my podcasts and morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com. Click on the Morning Moments tab.